Hello, this is Zach with a podcast named Tim here with another Star Wars The Bad Batch review, and it is Season 1, Episode 15, the first of the two-parter that we're going to be ending the first season on. And this one is Return to Kamino, and as you would guess, we're going back to Kamino, so definitely delivered on the title. Before we get to the review, please do give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, all the other YouTube stuff. And of course, let me know your thoughts below, because there's a lot to talk about here. Going to be a lot of spoilers and predictions, and this is kind of, as you would expect, this is an episode we've truly been building up towards that justifies, this whole season, including some of the weaker points of this season. Basically, as you remember, Hunter has been captured by Crosshair, and he is taking him back to Kamino. He activates his comm, knowing full well that the other members of Clone Force 99 cannot leave her brother behind, although Crosshair's a little salty about that. He feels like he was left behind. And they know it's a trap. He knows it's a trap. Everyone knows what the deal is, but in some respects, they're going through the motions, but they know that they're doing that. And they fix up the ship. We get some good backstory from Omega. It sounds like she was the original, or at least older than them, and watched them, being born in some respects. And we see this secret lab that Nala Se had, and just a lot of really good just backstory on Kamino, and interested to see where they're going to take that, especially with Nala Se being captured by the Empire at this point. But they sneak into the facility. It's kind of like a game of chicken, where it's like, I know what you're going to do and you know what I'm going to do. And so they know what Crosshair is expected to do, so they try and divert around that, but he knows what their counter move is going to be, so he's already set up in position. It's just that really great cat and mouse game. But basically, Crosshair is there with some of the other troopers that are part of his, new squad. One of which has hinted to Rampart that he doesn't trust Crosshair and his motivations when dealing with his X-Squad. And so, but they're all right there, and we get our big, standoff moment. We get Crosshair and Hunter face-to-face, time to, talk it out and see where everyone's headspace is, especially Crosshair. They haven't done a lot. They've kept him behind the scenes a lot, and so I've been really fascinated to get into his brain about what's going on. Hunter basically says, this is your inhibitor chip, this isn't you. We find out Crosshair has removed his inhibitor chip at some point, we don't know when, which is fascinating, because I think it happened after that electrical shock. I think that they did to try and amplify it. I think it messed it up, but they had to take it out. But that's just a great, he basically said like he felt abandoned, like his brothers didn't come back for him, and he legitimately thinks the Empire is a good idea. He's like, you're my brothers, but I like the Empire. And so it's just an interesting dynamic, because he's kind of redeemed, but not quite there. He's still like, I like the bad guys, but we're still cool. And he gives him a chance. He says, I'm going to give you a chance to join us. It's kind of the, join me and together we can rule moment. And we see that he has set up mirrors all over the training facility they're at, and shoots them to not take out the other troopers. And so with that, obviously he is kind of turned his back on the Empire in some respects, but the crew have to all join together, because Omega put out some big training droids. She takes them out, or they all take them out, have to work together, which is great. And then Hunter, he puts his blaster towards Crosshair. They're both going to shoot each other. Hunter gets to him first with the stun, and says, we're going to take him with us because he's our brother. And then at the end of the episode, we get this great moment. There's great music in this episode. Great use of that Attack of the Clones, I think it was, music when we first see Kamino. And the Empire just destroys the facility completely, and that's where we leave the episode off. So we don't really know what's going to happen, if someone's going to make a sacrifice to redeem themselves, or if I don't know. I don't know where they're going to take this. I kind of want Crosshair to remain pro-Empire, because I like the idea of, he's like, you're my brothers, but I'm pro-Empire, because I don't know, it kind of feels like a weird, like, family members that have differing political views situation in some respects. But I like the fact that he has taken his inhibitor chip out. I was hoping for that. That really made me excited. It made me like Crosshair that much more, because he made him a very fascinating villain, because he's abandoned, he's hurt, but he's got this political view about the Empire in some respects, and just a lot of, I don't know, a lot of interesting things going on with him. And I hope he lives, because I'd like to deal with him more and get more into his headspace and learn more about Crosshair. That's the one thing this episode really did for me, was I'm fully invested in that particular character. I don't know where we're going to go. If I had any predictions, they don't have the gall to, but if Omega was the one to make the sacrifice to save the Bad Batch, that would be fascinating. Because she said she was the older sister. And so I don't think that Disney will do it. But I think either Crosshair, Hunter, or Omega, one of them is dying in the next episode. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe Rex is going to show up and somehow out of nowhere he knew what was going on and save him. But it was a really good episode, and I'll be fascinated to see where they take this last one, because this kind of felt like in itself an end of season episode. But yeah, great episode. And let me know your thoughts. Did you like the Crosshair turn? Where are you at with that? And then predictions for next week. So I'm Zach again, and we'll see you next time here on a podcast named Tim.